A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a landmark ruling, 3 former organizers of Hong Kong's annual vigil commemorating the 1989 Tiananmen Square crackdown have successfully overturned their convictions for refusing to provide information to police. This decision by the Hong Kong Court of Final Appeal marks a significant victory for pro-democracy activists in the city, amidst a backdrop of increasing governmental repression. Chow Hang-tung, Tang Na-Quan, and Sui Han-Kwang, who were key members of the now-dissolved Hong Kong Alliance in support of patriotic democratic movements of China, faced convictions in 2023 during a broader crackdown on dissent. They were sentenced to 4.5 months in prison, a term they have already served. The Hong Kong Alliance was historically known for organizing candlelight vigils to remember the pro-democracy protests in Beijing, but it disbanded in 2021 following the imposition of a stringent national security law by China. Critics argue that this law has severely curtailed civil liberties in Hong Kong, undermining the freedoms that were promised to remain intact after the territory was handed back to China in 1997. The police had previously demanded detailed information regarding the alliance's operations and finances, claiming links to foreign pro-democracy groups and labeling it a foreign agent. However, the alliance steadfastly refused to comply, asserting its independence and local focus. The judges at the Court of Final Appeal unanimously sided with the trio, with Chief Justice Andrew Chung stating that the prosecution failed to provide adequate evidence to substantiate claims that the alliance operated as a foreign agent. The judges noted that the lower courts erred in accepting the police commissioner's assertions without sufficient proof. Crucially, the prosecution had redacted key information, including the identities of groups purportedly linked to the alliance, which the judges ruled compromised the fairness of the trial. After the ruling, Mr. Tang expressed hope that the verdict would affirm the alliance's innocence and pave the way for a re-evaluation of the 1989 protests, which he argued were mischaracterized as counter-revolutionary riots. Ms. Chow, who represented herself in court, highlighted the implications of the case for civil liberties, asserting that the judiciary's complicity in endorsing police abuses must end. The ruling comes amid growing concerns over the independence of Hong Kong's judicial system, particularly following the resignation of several non-permanent overseas judges who cited a compromised rule of law. Despite these departures, Justice Chung maintained that the judiciary's independence remains intact. The annual vigil at Victoria Park served as the only large-scale public commemoration of the June 4th crackdown on Chinese soil for decades, drawing thousands until authorities prohibited it in 2020, citing pandemic regulations. Following the lifting of COVID-19 restrictions, the park was instead occupied by pro-Beijing events, with individuals attempting to commemorate the crackdown facing detention. Chow Hang-tung and other former leaders of the alliance, including Lee Chuk-yin and Albert Ho, are currently facing separate charges of subversion under the national security law, with their trial pending. In a related ruling, the Court of Final Appeal also dismissed a bid from pro-democracy activist Tam Tak-chi to overturn his sedition convictions, marking a significant moment in the ongoing struggle for political freedoms in Hong Kong. Tam was the first individual tried under a colonial-era sedition law since the 1997 handover and was convicted on multiple charges in 2022. Critics fear that the new security law will further restrict freedoms in the city, perpetuating a cycle of repression against dissenting voices. This latest ruling serves as a beacon of hope for pro-democracy advocates in Hong Kong, who continue to fight for their rights and freedoms in an increasingly hostile environment. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.